Hey, everybody. We'll give everyone a few minutes to pop on in. Mm. It's been a very interesting week. It was just last Tuesday we met and talked about things, and then Wednesday, it was only been a week. Think about that. Everything that's happened. So, with everything that's going on and with the inevitable stress and the kind of roller coaster that most of us are going through, I thought that the most useful thing I could do for everybody in the patron chat today would be a guided meditation to just try to find a little bit of calm, uh, a good center, and a place that we can retreat to when things are a little bit too much. Because this is not over. There is a lot that is still going on. There is a lot that is still being revealed. There's a lot of unrest. Families are divided along very stark and potentially violent ideological lines. And people will lose friendships, have lost friendships. Like there's just a whole lot to try to deal with mentally, emotionally, never mind the ongoing physical demands of the pandemic. So we're in this together is the most important thing. So what I want everybody to do is to take a few minutes. If you need to move around where you're at, find a place where you can sit or lay or stand if it's comfortable, but be somewhere where it's comfortable and settle in. And if you need to take a moment to tell some people to not bother you for a few moments, if you need to wrangle the pets or maybe get them up in your lap so that they will settle in as well, do that. Whatever it takes to get a little like physical peace around you, a controlled environment as much as you're able. With that, also pay attention to your body, like where you are in this moment, not just physically, but how do you feel? Where is your mind at? What's been nagging at you and bothering you and weighing on you today? And take all of that into consideration, both the mental burdens and the physical burdens, all of it, and just do your best to put it aside for a little bit. Like catalog it, and as you acknowledge the things that could be hurting, bothering, distracting you, acknowledge them, and then just go, this is not my problem in this moment. I'm not going to pay attention to this in this moment. I will try not to focus on it in this moment. For some things, it means it's just going to be in the background. But in the same way that you turn your attention away from background noise when it's essential that you focus on something else, try to do that. These things, these distractions, they're in the background. They'll be there when you want to pay attention to them again. For now, let them be background noise. Let them fall back into a dull roar, just white noise. And sit where you're at. Be as comfortable as you can. Close your eyes. And what I want you to do as a focus, and this will be a little new, is think about how eyes move when we're dreaming. It's called rapid eye movement. Uh, your eyes will track things underneath your lids. So take a few moments to kind of recreate what it's like physically when you're dreaming. Just move your eyes from side to side underneath your lids. It doesn't have to be like swing, 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 but just a sense so you can feel the sensation of your eye under your lid, the little flutter of your eyelashes, the slight shift in the way your lid lays because of the shape of your eye, up and down or side to side, whatever's comfortable. And just what are you tracking? If you are dreaming right now, if you imagine yourself dreaming, what are you dreaming about? What is a good dream that you want to focus on, that your eyes would be tracking? The shape of it, the color, the light, if it's a person, if it's a place. And just allow yourself for a few moments to sink into this intentional dream. Build the sense of it in your mind as you let your eyes lightly track back and forth until what is just a rote movement of back and forth is following whatever you're trying to see, perhaps tracking someone as they skip ahead of you in a meadow, perhaps watching clouds scud across a great blue sky, perhaps watching the stars on a quiet moment in a deeply shaded hillside far from anywhere. Maybe something stranger still. Whatever appeals to you as a sense of freedom, of escape, of fantasy, of fun, something that feeds your soul. Imagine that and track it with your eyes until you almost convince yourself that you are, in fact, in this moment, wide awake dreaming. And feel how that kind of focus helps everything else fall back into background noise. In having to think about both moving your eyes behind closed lids and also picturing, imagining, shaping this experience. Immerse yourself in that, and everything else fades, if only for a moment. We live in a culture that sometimes denigrates dreaming and fantasy, and it does so to our great detriment. There is a value to escapism, there is a value to idealizing something, romanticizing something, and looking toward possibility, even when you may realize that you will never fully grasp it. It's something that can never be actually real in the physical world. But your dream of it has value. There's truths that you can see there. There are ways that it heals you that we've lost sight of. So, again, as you keep your eyes closed and move them tracking behind your lids, calling up the physical sensation of REM sleep. What do you dream? What heals your soul in this moment? Whose face do you want to see, even if it is impossible in the waking world? What place do you want to visit? Again, even if it's impossible right now in the waking world. And don't focus only on the visual. What does it feel like? How does it smell? Is there an emotion you feel, or many? Allow yourself to indulge in creating this as fully and as immersively as possible, and be in a space that is sheltered and safe and wonderful and fulfilling and free. There is nothing wrong with being here in this moment, even if you have responsibilities weighing on you. There's nothing wrong with being here in this moment. Don't feel guilt. Don't feel shame. Those are things that our culture has tried to give us, especially when it comes to fantasy, to make believe. And there is no judgment for the content of what this waking dream may be. No limit to what heals your soul. Let it be what you need in this moment. Who or how or where you need in this moment. The richness of it. And just allow yourself to float in that for a little while. Be safe, be free, be light in heart and mind. Be loved, be understood, be seen. Indulge and don't be afraid. Allow yourself to embrace this. And if it feels like it's slipping, again, pull your attention to that subtle movement of your eyes behind your lids as a way of marshaling your focus, as a way of reminding yourself that this is something you are intentionally doing, that you are making this, you are in control of this, This is your choice, your creation, and also your escape. You're present to yourself in these difficult times. Fly, run, swim, float. Scatter yourself across the vastness of galaxies as stars, as dust, as a song remembered only in ancient fragments. Be something that you can only imagine. This is something you are under no obligation to share with anyone else. Be free and light and perfect. And feel your body relaxing around you as you do so. Feel some of the tension leave where you didn't even realize you were holding it. The base of your neck where you were clenching your jaw. That thread of migraine threatening, just on the verge. Feel all of that loosen, wash away as you let yourself be in this other space, as you embrace it as completely as you are able in this moment. It needs to have no more meaning than the fact that it fulfills you in this instant. It doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to teach you anything beyond there is a value to joy. And again, feel your body ease and release, and some of that tension seep out of you as your eyes trek back and forth, up and down, helping to shape what you are perceiving through this conscious motion. And know you can return to this. You can do this whenever you wish. For the moment, stretch a little bit. Draw your experience to a close. If there's anyone you need to say goodbye to, do so. If there's one last thing you want to get in, do that. If there are things that you want to capture in memory so you can lock them away in a box and open them up during a hard portion of your day tomorrow or next week, do that. Catch them like falling stars, like dust of galaxies, like flames that dance in your mind. And then stop moving your eyes slowly, not all at once. Bring them to a point where it is rest, where you are no longer using that motion to power this projecting screen, this movie inside you. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes and remind yourself of where you are and who you are. Not to shock yourself, not to punish yourself for indulging in fantasy, but to ground yourself, to be present, to still hold on to what you felt and how that released you and how that made you lighter and made you forget some of the burden that you've been carrying this week, these months, these years. But be here now with that. These two things are not mutually exclusive. You can carry a light heart and you can indulge in visions and daydreams and also be a responsible adult and also be someone who is dealing with everything that you are dealing with. Be present in your body. If it helps, stretch your fingers, maybe stretch your toes, whatever part of you reminds you this is you, this is your flesh, this is where you are right now. Look at something in your environment that you enjoy, that you like looking at, that you chose to put there, something that's placed just right. And it can be a bridge to things that you place in your mind, in your imagination, to find an escape when you need it. There is no guarantee that the weeks ahead will be any easier than the weeks that we've been through. The only guarantee that we have is that we will be moving through them until we don't. I know that can be cold comfort, but we need to be practical, take care of ourselves. And I think the biggest truth to keep in mind is, especially if you have people who rely on you, if you are not healthy and whole, if you are not in a good place, you cannot be there for them. You will not be able to help them. So do not be afraid and do not feel ashamed and do not feel guilty for taking a few moments to yourself when you need to, recognizing when you need to, and indulge. Play this again. Go somewhere different. Explore. Find a delight. Take every tiny luxury and joy that you can possibly grab and enjoy it to its fullest. Indulge yourself to the fullest, because right now it will be those little luxuries that get us through. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another when you can. And I will chat with you when I can. Be well.